Imagine waking up tomorrow and seeing a headline nobody expected. Not a ceasefire, not improved relations, but something far bigger. The United States and Russia have become allies. After decades of rivalry, military tension, sanctions, and geopolitical competition, they suddenly start working together. Sounds impossible. But what if it happened? And more importantly, what would happen to the rest of the world? Because most people assume peace between major powers can only be good. Less conflict, less tension, more cooperation. But history shows something strange. When powerful rivals stop competing, the entire global balance can shift. And some countries might celebrate, while others become very nervous. Let's start with the obvious. Military spending. The United States spends hundreds of billions every year on defense. Russia also dedicates enormous resources to military capability. Now imagine a future where those resources aren't focused on each other anymore. Where does that money go? Technology? Space exploration? Artificial intelligence? Infrastructure? The consequences could be enormous. But here's where things get interesting. Because this isn't really about America and Russia. It's about everyone else. Think about it. For decades, countries have built strategies around the fact that these two powers often disagreed. If that suddenly changes, many global alliances would have to adapt. And some very quickly. Global energy markets could change. Trade routes could change. Sanctions could disappear. New economic partnerships could emerge. Entire industries might benefit from increased cooperation. But every major shift creates winners and losers. And that's where things become unpredictable. Now imagine something even bigger. What if the world's two largest nuclear powers began sharing technology? Not weapons. Technology. Space programs. Scientific research. Advanced energy systems. Artificial intelligence. The speed of innovation could increase dramatically. But so could concerns about concentrated influence. Because whenever powerful nations cooperate closely, a question appears. Who gets left out? Countries that once had leverage between competing powers could suddenly find themselves with fewer options. And that changes global negotiations. Fast. Now pause for a second, because there is one possibility almost nobody talks about. What if becoming friends actually creates new tensions? Not between America and Russia, but elsewhere. History shows that major geopolitical shifts often create unexpected reactions. And those reactions can reshape entire regions. Markets would react. Governments would react. Military alliances would react. Companies would react. Even ordinary people could feel the effects through energy prices, trade, technology, and investment. The future rarely changes in one place. It spreads everywhere. But perhaps the biggest question isn't political. It's human. Because for generations, people have grown up seeing these nations as competitors. What happens when an entire narrative changes? How do populations adapt when yesterday's rival becomes tomorrow's partner? Some would welcome it. Some would distrust it. Some would believe it could create unprecedented stability. Others would worry about what comes next. Because uncertainty doesn't disappear when conflict ends. Sometimes it simply changes form. So what if Russia and America became friends tomorrow? Would the world become safer? Would technology advance faster? Would global tensions decrease? Or would entirely new challenges emerge? Because history has taught us one thing. The biggest changes often begin with a single event nobody expected. And if this happened, the future of the world could look very different. What do you think? Would a friendship between Russia and America make the world better or create new problems nobody sees coming? Comment your opinion and subscribe for more videos.